so I can begin.
All right, well, welcome everybody. I just hit record, so we're going to get started. I want to welcome Robin Heston from Gale Cengage. She's going to be presenting about all of our Gale tools today. Welcome back. Happy New Year. It's our first new Media Specialist Cadre of 2021, and I'm so glad you are here. I'm going to turn it over to Robin, and we can get going.
Wonderful. I appreciate the opportunity here, Lisa. My name is Robin Heston. I am your scale. Let's see if I can do the school district and Gale of something. So I think I did scale and I did it together. So new nickname there, but I am from Gale and I am your, what they call me as an education consultant. So I'm basically your point of contact for questions, purchases, anything Gale related. I am more than happy to, answer any questions and whatnot. But today we're going to go over primarily an elementary portal, but within that portal, you'll see a middle school. So for anyone that's on with the middle school, it's fine. Each portal will have the same exact tools. The content will be different, and that's what we're going to go over today. Lisa, give me a reminder on when, how long I have on this. And she's probably muted.
Yeah, you have about a half hour.
Okay.
We can go a little bit over. That's fine. No problem.
I want to respect everyone's time. I just want to make sure we have a few minutes for questions if anyone has any. I would suggest you putting it in the chat. Lisa will monitor that. Lisa, no hesitation on interruptions. That's how I,
Gotcha. And I just want to throw out there,
I live day to day on that, so I'm all good.
For sure. I just want to throw out there, if you haven't spent your 3070 funds yet, Gale is a vendor that you can use for 3070. You can choose to purchase simultaneous multi-user ebooks or additional database subscriptions. So
yep.
If that's where you're looking, you feel free to reach out to Robin, and she is there for you to help you with your purchases.
I appreciate that, Lisa. Okay, so this page should look familiar to you. This is your portal page, but I believe in your background you should have a direct link for Gale, and it should take you into your school directly, or it will take you right here, and then you pick your school. So I just, again, if that's not happening or if you have issues, please let Lisa know and she'll let me know, or you can reach out to me directly. But I am going to scroll down. It is differentiated by school or level of school, and I am going to go to South Olive. And what this comes up with is your access points for different district-wide subscribed and purchased products. So the first one you'll see is the elementary, Gale in Context Elementary. This used to be called Kids Infobits. It has a new look, a new feel, a lot cleaner, and I'll go into it in a second. The Cameron's Collection. These are unlimited access ebooks. They are purchased, purchase model. This is not a subscription right here. These were purchased by the district, and it's really all about mental health and civics and things of that sort. This was selective. We have a much fuller list. If you are interested in adding some mental health titles to this, we can do that at some point. Gale eBooks as a whole, this is specific for the whole site, and your particular ebooks for your particular school. And in middle school, the Gale in Context Middle School is a cross-curricular resource that is really geared to the middle school student. But I will tell you, my daughter, who is now 15, used to use this product in like 4th and 5th grade for her PowerPoint. So she would grab a video out of this if it wasn't in the elementary. So just giving you that background. But we're going to pop in to Gale in Context Elementary. And what you'll see here again is the new layout. You'll notice that the Florida Electronic Library...
We're still seeing the portal page.
Oh, dang. That's why you told me to share that way.
Just
Okay.
switch to the new tab.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. So switch. Nope, no. I switched the camera. Sorry.
It's okay, Robin.
I have issues. You are presenting. Okay, so what do I do now?
You can stop presenting and then present again.
Thank you. That's what I want to make sure. Oh, I can see everybody now. All right. All right. Let's just do
just do your whole computer.
Entire screen. Who cares, right?
It's fine.
Share. Kidding. Share. Now I can share. Okay. Do we see the Gale and Context Elementary now?
We do. We're good to go.
Shoot. Okay. Let me start again. So this used to be called the Kids Info Bits. We again changed it up quite a bit. We've updated it to look cleaner. You'll notice it's more prevalent to get into the topics, the newspapers, pictures, and videos. You'll notice up top you have the toolbar. This is a sticky toolbar. So when you're in an article, that will actually stay up there. When you're not, it will scroll down with it. But I will show that to you. We have a search box up top, a little bit more prevalent. So you can do a search. We also have the new I Wonder. So if you select that this is just what type of weather do iguanas like, you can find out. You can actually have a next question. What is the plot of a story? Find out. Or what is the center of a hurricane called? And I'm just going to press the find out button. And it literally just gives you some quick facts. This is the background information. This is what Gale does best. It puts it into perspective on what a hurricane is before you go into what the middle of, the storm is called, which I bet you we can all guess because we live through these all the time. So you'll notice, again, the quick facts here. If you want to keep reading the full article, this is like, I'll call it an authoritative Wikipedia, if you will, right? So you know how easy, a Google search or Wikipedia is that we're not allowed to use and shouldn't be using because it's changeable, if you will, right? This is, or editable. This, if you keep reading, you'll get the article that this came from, and obviously the answer is the I. The hurricane has a center. I can actually highlight that and say this is Robin Heston's answer, right? And I can save that, and I'll show you why I'm doing that later. But what you get here on several of these articles is you'll look at a level 1 and a level 2. Level 1 is lower elementary. Level 2, this will change a bit and give you an upper elementary readable article. So keep that in mind. Once you are in an article, like I said before, if you look how I scroll down on the upper right, you'll see these toolbars that stays put. So when you're all the way down below in an article, you don't have to, hunt and peck for the tools. And the tools, if a student is using this within a project, you can get the citation information easy peasy. You can either select it and copy and paste it. You can download it. You can send it to your Google Drive, and this opens up and says, this has been sent to your Google Drive, and it confirms. If you have Noodle Tools or any of those kind of outside third-party, platforms, you can export it through that as well. So, and then up top, you'll see the different type of citations. Most of us are MLA 8th. I know in high school, some of them and above will use ALA, and Chicago and Harvard are also in here. So citations is one area. The other The next toolbar, and again, I go over these really specifically because these are in each of the resources. So if I send to, it's an easy send to the Google Drive, and this will send the whole entire document, including those highlights that you have within the article that I've highlighted. So again, in this case, the eye, the hurricane is a center. It's called the eye, whatever you want to do. You can download it. So if you have kids that maybe don't have a computer at home and are at school, or maybe they have a brother or sister that are sharing a computer and they're home, keep in mind they can download it and they can print it out, or they can download it, and put it onto like a Kindle or whatever it is, right? So just be aware, or just say press the print button and they can do that. This get link button is great too, because you can actually get the link and send that to yourself however you'd like, and that will take you back to this page. But if you've sent that information to Google Drive, it's not necessary. So again, be aware. The highlights and notes I will go over momentarily. The reasoning behind that is I'm going to show you something else. So let me just go back home. I'm just going to press the Gale in Context Elementary. I could have pushed my back button several times. But again, these I wonder questions change all the time. So you'll get all different ones. And you can use that as assignments, or these are kind of fun scavenger hunt. So if you have a Google Classroom, you can actually open your Google Classroom all the way up top. Does everybody see that button? I cannot see you nod your head. So someone say yes or no.
You're good to go.
Thank you. So up top, you'll see a Google Classroom. I'm not in my the correct Google account. I wonder if I can change that. And I do that. Oh. Let me see if I can just get out of this and put my, yep, this is it. Okay, sorry. Forgive me. I just want to get into this account so I can show you. Confirm. Okay, so now let me just go back to my Gale in Context Elementary. So let's pretend that you have kids coming in, or you're doing something online, or maybe you just want to create a Google Classroom for an assignment. With these new best standards, research is going to really be incorporated into these standards. You should know the ins and outs of these resources, because this is going to prepare them for their next entry with middle school, and then with high school, and then with college, because all of these tools are the same from elementary all the way up to college. So you inadvertently are prepping these kids for their future. So long story short, if I press this Google Classroom button, you can literally choose a class, and I'll put it in my trial class, and I can, make an announcement. I can create material. I'm just going to create an assignment. I'm going to press go, and I'm going to say this is a research assignment, and forgive that. I'm just going to say, take a look at the I wonder questions, answer. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. The questions, and send to me via Google Drive. Great assignment here that you can do. And then you can assign it to a specific class. Obviously, you guys know most of the Google stuff, but I'm just going to press assign. And then what that will do is it will go into my class. So within my classroom, you'll notice the classwork. There's my research, really bad typed assignment. But if I select it now, you'll say, take a look at the I wonder questions, answer the questions, and send to me via Google Drive. So if they go in here, and now they're going to see these I wonder questions, they're going to have to look within. They find out, and boom, you know what's funny? I didn't even see the question. What type of weathers do iguanas like? Okay, so we go in here. They live in trees, but I have to keep reading. Or you'll notice in here they like warm climates. So, but what I did notice in this particular one is if they press that keep reading, you'll notice in the number 3 quick facts, it's already in there. So there's so many things that you can do, within this. And just again, I would ask them to go into an article so they can highlight it. So if I go in here, and I'm just going to do this for, there it is. They like to live in warm or hot places. So if I do that, again, I'm highlighting it. I can highlight it any color, and I can say this is Joe Smith assignment for in context elementary, whatever you want, the research assignment, right? Press save. There we go. And now, remember those highlights and notes we were doing before? Now this should be in here. If I view all of them, you'll notice both the hurricane one that I did, the Robin Heston answer, or Joe Smith. And again, I put both of them in here. But if you think about this, you send this to your Google Drive, and then you can share it with your teacher. Does that make sense to everybody?
So we have a couple questions.
Okay.
Which was, can you make a copy for every student to mark up in Google Classroom?
Yes. No, okay, wait a minute. Let me just understand that question. Say that again.
So can you, like, if you selected a specific article, can you make a copy for each student to then mark up in Google Classroom?
You don't need to. So what happens here is this. Let me go back to the classwork, this one. So I'm going into this, right? Like this is where it takes me. Remember where the Google Classroom took me? There's nothing marked up, but if I did it to an article, so I'm just going to pick one, oceans and seas. I'm going to say Black Sea. Okay. So I'm in this, and you want to direct them to this, or if you want to direct them to the full on article, right? If you're just assigning this now to your Google Classroom and creating your assignment, right? So share to the classroom. I can go to the classroom, but I'm not going to. Anyway, you could, if you share this, this is a blank copy, right? So when a kid, right? I'm just going to get the link because this is what it will take them to, just so I can show you how it would work. I go to Gale in context. All right, I'm going to go in here, push this, and watch. It just takes them right into this product. It's all clean. Now, although we're all going into it, I can highlight this, and then this send to is just me, right? RH, save, and now I'm sending it, right, to my Google Drive. And then I'll share that with the teacher. Now, again, think back, right? I didn't get a link this time. I'm using that same link I did before through Google Classroom. I'm just giving you an example. I'm doing it quicker. So if I use that link that I originally put into Google Classroom for that particular article, oh, there's a cookie. Sorry. It will do because I'm on my computer, of course. It won't do it if it's you because they'll be on different computers. So my apologies.
So, but is there a way they could attach their can they copy their highlights and notes onto a Google Doc that, let's say, the
yes.
So then they can turn in the Google Doc to make it simple.
Exactly. So they can do that too. So if they don't want to use the highlights and notes feature, that's fine. You can have them download, send to, use that send to button when they're in an article. And then just send it blank, and they can do that within Google. Yep, not a problem. I hope that answered the question. It was really long. Sorry. Go ahead. What's the next question?
Did that answer your question, Michelle? Sort of. We're getting there.
Well, then I'm not understanding. What was, Michelle, speak out. What do you need?
Well, I'm just wondering if they're already on the same thing. I don't want things in my mailbox. I want it uploaded into Google Classroom. Right. And I didn't see a place when you were doing it, like how many steps are the kids taking here?
It's not a lot. So
I may have to just try it and go for it.
Yeah, no. If I do, let's just say I'm looking for information on the inauguration. Okay. And here's this, information, et cetera. If I want like a newspaper or, whatever you want, right? So you see news, you'll obviously see, all of the stuff, blah, blah, blah. So this is the article, right? Let's just say you're giving them an assignment. You see the send to button?
Right.
That just gets it into their Google Drive. So right there, it took me less than a second.
Okay. So they mark it up, put it in their Google Drive. And then when they're in Google Classroom, when it says upload from your Google Drive, did that just turn into a Google Doc?
This is in the Google Doc, right? But Google Classroom is a whole separate thing, right?
Right. But if that turned into a Google Doc, that answered my question. Because that can easily be uploaded. Okay.
Easy peasy. Yep. Anything can be easily uploaded. Absolutely.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I think so.
I know I'm a New Yorker. I'm really quick. I apologize. So
all good. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Is there another question before I move on?
I think we're good to go.
Okay. So within the Gale in Context Elementary, what I really want you to take a look at are these subject areas, these topical areas, because these all have different portal pages. So let's say you're supporting science, whatever it might be, you can go into scientists and inventors. And again, what you get here is what are scientists and inventors. It gives you, again, the definition, if you will. And then we'll go into a whole bunch of different inventors or scientists. And they can pick, and let's say it's Jane Goodall, incredible woman, right? All about the chimps. Some beautiful pictures out there that you can see, but you'll get all of her information right here. So if you want to create an assignment this way, or they want to use this for an assignment, again, they can use that, what I call their in kind of a breadcrumb trail. So you'll notice on top, Jane Goodall is from Scientists and Inventors, which is from Science, which came from the homepage. So easy peasy. Again, any of these can be used for differentiation for any type of research project, or maybe they're just doing some classwork. So the nice part about this is, again, I'm in magazines, and I wanted just to show you the magazines. You'll notice Apple Seeds, you'll notice Odyssey, you'll notice Science World, Skipping Stones. It's really geared to those elementary kids. So, you're not going to have Newsweek in here. You're going to have Newsweek for Kids in here, or something of that sort. So there's about 110 periodicals really geared to that K-5 student. Now, newspapers, a bit of a different story. There's not a lot out there on the lower levels, but you'll notice Kids Post. You will have CNN and things like that, so just be wary of it. But if I go into Kids Post, that's how I would, you can see there lots of white space, etc. And what's nice about this, again, is now this is a level 3, so this is an upper level, right? So what I want to show you though is, even if this might be a little difficult for a 3rd grader, let's just say, I want you to know about the listen button or the fonts. You can make the fonts bigger, smaller. You can also translate this article, and you can get more article information. But this is the key that I like on this, is because you have this listen button, and I'm going to stop it for a minute because I want to go in my settings. In the settings, you'll see enhanced text visibility. I have it marked on. I have my speed marked slow, and I have automatic scrolling on. So you can see you can have different types of things. So if I want to turn my automatic scrolling to off, I've done that. It won't automatically scroll for me. But once I press play, this will read it to me. But on the bottom, you can see a very large pop-up screen, if you will, that's reading it to you to make it easier for you as a youngster, or even as an older person like myself with bad eyes in this particular case, to look and see what it's saying. So keeping that in mind, you can also translate the article. It's about 40 different languages. So if you wanted to search for, Dutch, just using it as an example, you can complete that translation. All right, I don't know why. Oh, there it is. So some of them that will not translate into Dutch will go into English automatically. But what's nice about this, the listen button will now read it in Dutch or whatever I picked. So keeping that in mind, I'm switching about to English because I can't read Dutch. But I wanted you to be aware of that particular area as well. So when you go into Gale in Context Elementary, you can, again, search by subject. You can do a content search. You can just go into videos and see what type of videos are in here. And this could be anything. Again, this could be, let's say, the human body, right? Let's say they're doing that. I mean, the human body's not in there. All right, well, let's just do there's no okay, now I'm having issues. Oh, thank God, something's in there. All right, I'm kidding about this, by the way. I did not do my due diligence on the video. So in this particular case, I said chemicals. So what are chemicals? This is a video that will pop up, and you just press play. And I don't know if you can hear it through mine, but it's just giving you some music, and it's talking about cooking and chemicals, and you can see it's really geared to the youngster. So, Gale in Context Elementary, keeping in mind you want to take a look at all of these topic areas to kind of understand what's in it. You can also pick your title list up top, and that will send you to our title list of all Gale products. But you can get what's exactly in the database. So if you go in here and you'll see context, and then you press your elementary, you can open this up into a particular format. So any questions on this elementary product?
I think we're good.
Great. So I wanted you to know on Cameron's collection, this is like, they really call it Cameron's Camp for Wellness because it's really geared to the youngsters. But be aware, these were vetted. And this, as you can see, like social sciences are a little bit larger. But you can see happy, angry, bullies, living with an illness in the family, problem solving, school success. I mean, you can really see what's in this resource, but it's geared to that mental health and awareness and wellness. So you can go in here, and I'll show you the ebooks in a second, because I want to go into these ebooks. These ebooks are all the ebooks through your district, and you will, funny enough, look at the Jane Goodall. Those are all the biographies. You'll see them differentiated by subject. What's really different on these particular books is, number one, it's unlimited access. Number two, it's simultaneous use. Okay. 3, all multilingual. 4, differentiation. You'll have different lexile levels on these. Sometimes they do have a reading level, and we'll look to see on that. And 4, just keep this in mind, these are cross-searchable. So it works like a database. So let's just pretend I wanted to go into a book just to read it. So let's just say enough is enough. This is Lisa. Look what's in here, by the way.
Oh,
right? Didn't we just talk about this?
We did.
Lisa and I were just talking about inclusion and things of that sort. So what's nice about this particular area is if you select the book cover, it says view ebook. This will open up into a single page spread. You can double page it, and as soon as it downloads, don't forget I'm outside. I'm going to open it all the way up. You can see how it's double paged, and now you can literally read the book as a teacher, as a student, whatever it might be. And again, I'm just waiting for the download because as you can see, I'm outside. I had people in the house. So, but cutesy, right? Little book about, the accepting and friendship and things of that sort. But the way these ebooks work is as follows. Again, you can press any one of them and read them. The biggest difference on this is if I'm going in here and saying, I want information on, this might be, let's say, oh gosh, how pathetic am I? I'm going to use Jane Goodall again. I don't know why, but I see her staring at me. So if you do Jane Goodall, what's nice about this is this cross searches. Or maybe you want to chimpanzee. Those are cool. Chimpanzee. If we do chimpanzee, what you'll notice here is I have Jane Goodall's books up here, but I also have Animal Life. I also have the E-Guide to Mammals. This is the Super Nature Encyclopedia. So and it goes down to the article level. So when you go into an encyclopedia, which many of us don't anymore, but it will go down to that specific place or chapter within the article. So if you only wanted to know, getting to know chimpanzees, and this was, this will tell you who it is. It will tell you the content level. It tells you the GRL, Lexile. And then if you go down, again, this is these pages of these books. This is an HTML. Again, remember the toolbar up top that again scrolls down with you, and here's your send to on the Google Drive. And if you, as a librarian, right, a media specialist, say, okay, you just want them to read this chapter, chapter, sorry, whatever it is, right? Press save. You can either send the whole article, and this will come with the highlight, right? Or you can say highlights and notes, and you can just send this to your drive, like we were talking about before, right? So if I sent that, it will just come with this. And then if you gave them instructions within your Google, you can actually have them click back to the full article and do another assignment for you if you wanted to. So these ebooks can be used for reading, for research, for book classroom sets, if you will, right? So if they're doing a unit on cells, and again, you want to see, well, we can go into science. And every
we got a quick question. Can you search by reading level?
Yes, you can. So I'll go into that in a second. So if you're going to go in here as a teacher and you want information on, let's just say, solid or liquid, that's the focus you're going to be. You want them to read this book. Again, you can send this to the teacher with a get link button or in a Google Classroom and say, hey, make an announcement. We have this book. I wanted you to be aware, blah, blah, blah. Reading level. So let's say I'm doing, I'm going to do snakes. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. And a student or you want them to have a certain reading level. Does everybody see on the right side that you can narrow down your results? So in this, if you're using GRL, there's only one each of these T's. But if I know you guys use Lexile levels quite a bit, some of these might not be Lexiled. And I'll tell you why. Some of these are older titles. So they probably weren't Lexiled yet. But this is where you would get that. So if I could use, you saw like my collection or Who else? Debbie Siegel has a great collection, etc. You would see a lot more Lexiles because they're more current books. We just started beginning to Lexile books, I would say in the past year or two.
But you could also, you can also use the guided reading level.
Yep.
That will work too.
Yeah, and there's accelerated reader as well in here, but again, it's really dependent on the books. You can go in advanced search as well if you would rather. So if you would rather do it this way, you should be able to do content level right here. So whether it's content level 1s, 2s, 3s, 4, or you say, I want everything that has a 600, a 400, and that's it. And you don't even put a search term in. You can search whatever books come up, and there's going to be all different books. So these are the only books that are leveled at that particular Lexile level. And you'll notice it's a GRL of H. So this is what are minerals, and then you have to keep scrolling and find out what other books, because it goes by chapter, as I was telling you. So what are maybe it's this book, they're all into rocks, blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense?
Just got a quick question. Does it do SRC? And I'm not sure what SRC is.
Me neither. What is SRC?
Reading counts. If it does accelerated reader, that's the other program. Palm Beach County does reading counts.
Oh, you're going to ask me a hard question.
Well, it's really small, so I can't see it. I can look later because I thought some places do both.
Yeah, I don't. I know, and I'm sorry. I don't think we do reading counts yet.
Because Palm Beach County, that's what we subscribe to. We don't have AR. A lot of private schools do, though.
Yeah, don't forget that. Oh, wait a minute. No, reading counts.
I thought you might see it. It's really little, so I'll go back and look later. But
yeah, I don't think I honestly, I don't think it is.
Okay.
But I will ask about that, kind of the why, and I'll send it off to Lisa.
Okay.
But a lot, again, what I've noticed, I know, and I can't, honestly, personally, I can't stand reading levels, but I get it.
I know.
A lot of people teach.
Sometimes you can choose. Like some things I've ordered, they're like, do you do AR or RC? Yeah. So I just thought if it's choosable, I would like to choose that.
We don't sell the print side of things, the hard copy, I should say. So I think for the most part, we've used what's widely used across nationally and internationally, which is why you see the most populars, I would think. Not saying reading counts isn't, but that's,
Teachers are going to ask, so I thought I'd ask. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. If you use Lexiles, that's their other out. If there's a way to say what reading count is guided reading level or what it equals to in Lexile, that's another way to do it. Just throwing it out there. But I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, well, the kids want to read to get points for reading.
I know. I get it. I get it.
So it's like, well, maybe it is. You can look it up in the book thing. It's okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
But you guys can add to this collection. So if that's where you want to go with some of your 30/70 funds, you can add to this collection. It's great because you've got equity at home and at school. You've got the simultaneous multi-user.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep. And not only will you get that, you're buying one copy. So your traditional book, and I'm pretending, let's just say it's a $30 book. That $30 book has now become unlimited, simultaneous in all different languages, right? Now it is just keep in mind with the languages, it's not going to have the idiosyncratic, idiomatic expressions, it's going to be a side-by-side. It's not to teach them the language. This is for those that are ELL learners that really need, the help to get through a book in their own language. And I've had people read the Spanish ones that speak Spanish they spoke Spanish as a first language, and they're like, we can absolutely get through it. So I just want you to be aware of that before someone asks me. So Gale ebooks, as you know, you can buy, and I know I'm over. Just give me a minute. I'm so sorry. Do we have our middle school on here?
It's not, but I think it's good to show for upper elementary. Because
Okay, so just really briefly on this one, you'll see this as a very different view. So these are definitely going to be for your upper echelon, but you can use them for content, right? So you'll notice that instead of like, let's find out, these are all just going to change. You know, this is MLK. This is about Joe Biden. This is scientific method. Don't ask me why that's in between, you know, Martin and Biden. I have no idea. But let's just say we're on MLK. I'm just going to pick it. You will see here again, very different layout. So your quick facts are here on the right. You'll notice these read more are going to be a lot longer. And again, but keep in mind, some of these, again, are Lexiled. So if you have a upper, let's just pretend a really upper level that you want at a lower level on 980, I'm just throwing that out to you. We have, they are differentiated now. This is a new piece to our in context products, which again, you saw a little bit differently. It's level 1, level 2. So you'll notice that the content levels do have a meaning. And I'll send that out to Lisa so you have that and you can see clearly what these levels mean. But long story short, you know these links, you know the Google Classroom. You can absolutely use this in any way you want. I will tell you one of the most popular ways to use this in elementary is through the topical search, right? So if I'm doing, I don't know why, let's do U.S. history. Don't know why. If I'm doing one of these and I did, okay, I'm going to use the Gettysburg Address. I don't know why. But what you'll see here is when you scroll down, you will get the buckets. Remember those kind of buckets of information you saw in the elementary, the books, the news, the magazines, and the videos? This has more. This has primary source documents. And maybe you wanted to show them what the Gettysburg Address looks like, right? This has magazines. It's going to be upper level. So just be aware. One of the most popular ways to search in here is if you were looking for something, and this is what my daughter did. She did Franklin D. Roosevelt. And she used it as a keyword. This is way back when, because again, but we were looking, she was only looking for, where's my videos? Videos. And we searched Franklin D. Roosevelt. Woo, where's my videos? Oh, I must have pushed the wrong search button, but I'm here anyway. So what she did was for FDR, she actually did the Day of Infamy speech and she embedded this within her, she put it in her Google Slides. And she was loving it because she was able to add this, send to your Google Drive, and then she embedded it into her slides. So when she was doing this presentation on FDR, this was in there so they can actually, the kids could actually see and hear him. So that's a really popular way to use it in the elementary school, but you are welcome to use this, although it says middle school, for those kids or teachers that really want to embed and embrace this within. And that was really it. I know it was longer than expected. Sorry. But I wanted to, oh, there's a meeting. Ah, I see people now. Yay. Thank you. I know you can probably see my thing still. Does anybody have any specific questions? Is this helpful? Do you need a little bit more direction? And oh, good. Thank you, Michelle. I can see your thing. I can give you more if you want to meet with me on a personal basis to talk about collection analysis. I am more. Oh, I guess I have to stop presenting, don't I? There we go. If you want me to do an analysis with you, I am specifically nonfiction. So just to let you know, we have very few fiction books, but it's more of fiction like you saw before, like The Princess, you know, like those kind of, we have fairy tale stuff, and we do have some graphic novels, which I really like. But we have a lot of cool, really nonfiction based on nonfiction. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions for me? I got nothing. I don't get nothing.
Well, thank you, Robin, for taking the time to meet with us. We really, really appreciate it.
I'm sorry I went over.
Anything from Robin, her contact information is on Library Current in the virtual Open Me First, where you can find the library vendors. I'm going to stop recording.